Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me for this segment, we have Lin Dai, co-founder and CEO of OneOf, a Web3 company connecting fans to artists and brands, including Doja Cat, Biggie Smalls, Warner Music Group, Spotify, and more, to discuss a creator economy and the technology that's making it possible. Lin, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You got it. And let's talk about that, the explosion of the creator economy. What do you think some of the catalysts are behind that?
Yeah, I think certainly we saw an explosion of that during the pandemic, right? Creators have to find new ways to reach audiences and distribute their content. And for the first time ever, combine that with some of the latest in Web3 technology, you have an option to potentially disintermediate existing kind of media players and traditional distribution channel to go straight to the fans.
What are some of those technologies that is making it possible?
Yeah, so it's a combination of kind of their development in Web2 technologies and Web3 technologies. So traditional tech platforms relying on subscription models, we saw a huge explosion. So could be anything from Patreon to OnlyFans. We saw a huge explosion in the last few years. And then the next evolution of that is kind of Web3, kind of a combination of blockchain power technologies that really allows kind of digital content to be authenticated, tokenized, and so you own something that is actually, you can prove that you're the true owner of that piece of content, and then allows creator to directly kind of sell or give away those content directly to their fans.
Yeah, which is so interesting because versus Web 2, you need that intermediary, let's say like an Apple or a Google, in order to transact this business. But I also think the authentication part of it too, hopefully there'll also be less hacking or less fakes out there, if you will, because each asset is individually owned and can be tracked via blockchain.
Yeah, absolutely. Prior to Web3 technology, kind of the way to prove authenticity is reputation, right? So if this is a piece of content put out by a CNBC or a Fox, and there's some kind of there's some kind of authority behind that piece of content, and as an unknown creator, it's very hard to kind of achieve that level of reputation. Now with blockchain, everything changes. So essentially, every piece of content could be authenticated back to the actual creator, and then makes it less less important for the traditional distribution channels as it may.
Yeah, that's what I find most interesting about it. How would a drop in NFT royalties, the SAG strike, and other areas, how could that impact the creator economy?
Yeah, like any kind of new technology, it has its challenges. So certainly on one hand, this is a fresh new way to allow creators to monetize their own work in a massive way. Putting your own work on traditional platforms, social media platform like Instagram or Facebook, or even Spotify for artists, you're monetizing a fraction of a cent per view, and largely because the platform need to take a pretty huge percentage of the monetization in order to provide the services. So like everyone, we used to say kind of like, if you're getting the platform for free, you're probably the product, right? So while the intermediation and creators can get a much bigger direct cut, 90, 100% of the actual monetization, there are challenges also, right? So with the existing established player, there is kind of two approaches to it. There are a lot of media companies actually looking very deeply into how to leverage this future technology. I think Lachlan Murdoch just was quoted about how important Web3 is to the future of the media business, and then there are kind of a lot of players that are still looking to kind of see how to apply this technology. With the SAG strike, a lot of the hot topics around how future technologies like AI and Web3 potentially impacts on creator earnings and creators' control of their work. So it's all kind of very interconnected and will shape our next few years or decades of media consumption.
And Lynn, that's what's so interesting about it, because one of the questions obviously is, can these Web3 platforms be competitive with the incumbents like an Instagram, like a YouTube? But then also Web2 companies like that are also recognizing that there is an evolution taking place with Web3, and as artists get to retain more control and users get to retain more of their data rights and access to that, I think there's going to be this marriage between the incumbents and the technology that's available with Web3. Would you agree with that? What do you think is going to be next?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the enterprise that's paying attention is going to have a huge advantage. We do majority of our business is really arming enterprise companies like MasterCard and Warner Music Group with the right tools for this next wave of creator economy, and really, building enterprise grade engagement tools that actually help them stay relevant. We did make a version of our tool completely free for your independent creators, right? So you don't have to be Doja Cat or Biggie Smalls to access our tools anymore. You can have that absolutely for free and just let the creativity blossom. Traditionally, Web3 has been very difficult for non-technical creators to get involved. We made it as easy as, if you know how to upload a video, to your TikTok, you should be able to mint something on Web3 and monetize it or give it away to your fans to build a community. So I think it starts there, and let the creativity will blossom.
And Lynn, what are your thoughts around content moderation? If there isn't an intermediary, let's say for Web3, because the creators are, the content is being created by individuals, what's the risk of either running fakes on there, or hurtful content, or dangerous content? What do you think the content moderation process is going to look like?
Yeah, I think it's a challenge of every wave of kind of content freedom, right? So YouTube certainly went through the same thing. So I think that is kind of the right model, is actually let the tools are there for anybody else to use, and it's a community kind of monitoring system. You can flag, certainly on OneOf.com, we have flagging system for anybody to flag inappropriate content, but we're not here to moderate the content. This is Web3. It's about kind of creator freedom and their ability to engage fans with, their certain brand of content. So we do let the community to kind of, flag inappropriate content, and there's different ways to kind of set like age limit and different ways to gate the content. Authenticity of the content is actually very easily solved by blockchain technology. We can actually literally prove this was a piece of content that's created by you or a copy from something else, right? Because there is a, blockchain can prove authentication of any piece of content.
All right, Lynn, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.